pretty good. I liked it a lot.
All right, guys, so we're going to go over the results of the Mythic Championship. We're also going to look at the last hand. I'm going to show you a clip of what the winner had to say, and I'm also going to show you the last hand, a clip of the last hand of the match and why the game got lost. And then also I'm going to tell you the state of the meta, why red deck wins is in the format, Jesaki and blue-white control. But first, let's go over what the winner had to say, and let's look at this hand. Also, I'll give some context to everything.
Some people like to work for their wings, I want a fair fight, but when you're playing the last game for the World Championship title, all I want is him to discard.
All right, so we're going to take a look at the last hand, but I do want to give some context to certain things. So the first two clips, again, were in regards to the last hand and just him winning the match, and just him just joking around. He was really humble with everything in winning. But this last hand you're going to hear about, but I want to show you here first so you don't hear, you're going to hear a bunch of different things. You're going to hear the game was rigged. It wasn't rigged. So first off, I just want to do that. My videos aren't anti-wizards. I will present the information, then I allow you to decide. I'm a player. So let's look at this last hand. Now, we'll get to the top 8 in a second in the field and the way it is, but as you can see in this hand right now, you can see Marcio is at the bottom, who came in second place. He's playing with Jesaki. And we see Rosa, who's up at the top, who's playing with blue-white control. Now, obviously, these are the decks that were played also in the Star City Philadelphia event a week ago. These are the same decks that you're seeing in the Mythic Championship, so it's no wonder. This is why the meta is the way it is. We'll get to that in a minute. So in this hand right here, you can see at the bottom, who came in second place with Jesaki, he doesn't have a red source. So he took his first hand, this is the controversial hand here, is that, and understand this is a match 5, so it's 2 wins to 2 wins. And so you have to look at this, is that he only has blue sources. He's playing 3 colors. He's got Teferi in his hand. He's got Fires in his hand. He's ready to go. But he took a hand with only 2 land. And it was a bold move because you have to understand he lost the previous match. So in his head, he has to have the best hand. So having Teferi, having Fires of Intervention, so he kept that hand. It was highly controversial. It's going to be a highly controversial hand. Whereas you can see up at top, Rosa has the perfect hand. He's got the land base. He's ready to go and firing on all cylinders. So if you look at this hand, he only kept 2 lands in his opening hand. And then it gets worse. He's playing 3 colors, and he keeps on drawing. And guys, I told you it would get worse. Alright guys, if you like this, please subscribe. So I moved this ahead a little bit, so we're about 3 to 4 turns ahead. You can see he's stuck on 3 land, but see the difference. He's now drawn a Cavalier of Gales, a Cavalier of Flames, and a Cavalier of Gale. So he literally top-decked 3 creature cards in a row, only having a couple land. So he only had 2 land. Now he has 3 land, but now he is way behind. You can look at Rosa, how many lands he has, and how many times the Jesaki player lost land drops. So it's about 4 turns ahead that I've advanced this, and this is where the problem gets. So now you can see he's got Teferi Time Raveler. You can see Rosa at the top has Teferi Time Raveler. Narsa the Veil's already on the board. He's got Counterspell. I mean, he's loaded with his hand, and you can see there's no red still. So again, he went 4 turns, no land. All right, now we're back to my gameplay for a second, but now back to this. Now you see he's really in trouble, right? He's got 4 lands, but now he's got the Pegasus out, guys. Archon of Sun's Grace. You can tell he's really behind. It's a 3/4 flyer, and whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield, all Pegasus have flying. You create a 2/2 Pegasus, and as you can tell what he has in his hand with Omen of the Sea, basically just pumping out enchantments, and you're going to see this. I'm foreshadowing this a little bit early, but you can tell he's deeply behind and still does not have a red source. And look at the advantage in mana. You know, at this point, Marcio knows things are not going good. Look at his hand at the bottom left-hand corner. His hand is now palmed into his face, and he's looking down in concern. Look how open Rosa is. He's just very open and ready to play. So we immediately capture their 2 different demeanors. As we capture their demeanors, we capture this, a turn ahead, and look what happens. He doesn't draw a land card. He draws a Cavalier of Flames, and you can still see his demeanor is still, the very next turn, still the same. The prompt is asking him to discard a card because there's 8 cards in his hand, and he cannot cast a thing. He has 2 Cavalier of Flames, triple red, and he's got triple blue, but he doesn't have 5 mana. He cannot cast anything at this point, and again, still with the demeanor. So now the only thing he can do is discard, and that's the clips at the very beginning of the video that I showed you about DeRosa talking about the last match and laughing about it because they asked him the question, what's your take on the last match? He's like, I'm just happy that my opponent discarded.
Some people like to work for their wings and not want a fair fight, but when you're playing the last game for the World Championship title, all I want is him to discard.
So here we have a couple turns later, and you see DeRosa casts his Omen of the Sea, gets those 2/2 flying Pegasus with lifelink, and the last attempt that Marcio has, he casts a Teferi Time Raveler, and it gets mystical disputed by DeRosa. And that's basically where the game is cemented, and this happens. Note that Marcio is still only on 4 lands, and now this happens. And Marcio does something that we all have done in Arena. Even a pro happens to a pro. He concedes to DeRosa. He quits and concedes the match like a true pro, and he walks off and lets Paulo DeRosa have his day. And you see all those video clips that I showed you at the very beginning. Now, let's talk about the field in the top 8 and the matches on why the field is why you have what it is. Why do you have red deck wins and Jesaki controls? Let's get into it. Guys, if you do like this video, feel free to subscribe. Please share the video and subscribe. I put in a lot of effort. I've been up 48 hours straight to give you this video. I've worked a lot of minutes and hours on this video. Well, let's go into what I was talking about. So why is the field the way that it is? Okay, so first off, I have a previous video talking about Euro, Titan of Nature's Wrath, and its value going up, and that was right. You can go ahead and check that video out. By the way, you can check out our Simic ramp deck and our fish slap deck. Yeah, we actually have a fish slap deck. You can go ahead and check that out as well. It's a funny deck, seriously. it's kind of funny. Check it out. Anyway, it's on the YouTube. So basically, so if we kind of look at all these things, why is red deck wins? Why is Jesaki Control in there? Well, I mean, first off, I mean, all you have to do is look at the graphic that I put up here. Boop. And you see the Star City Games Philadelphia Championship. Red deck wins, blue-white control, red deck wins, Temur Reclamation, Temur Reclamation, Temur Reclamation, Temur Reclamation. And that's the reason why Euro Titan's value has skyrocketed through the roof. I covered that in a previous video. But realistically, because of these decks, because these decks are all control, Temur Reclamation, Jesaki Fires, Jesaki Control, these are all control decks, okay? These are all control decks. Blue-white control, Esper control. So how do you beat Fires of Intervention and all these control decks? You play with mono red. Because mono red, it's fast, it's quick, and you try to get underneath all these board wipes. You try to, like, under Time Wipe. You look at all the board wipes you have. You have Time Wipe, Kaya's Wrath, you have Rumcloak Giant, and Shatter the Sky. I mean, you have all these board wipes, so, and Teferi Time Raveler. So how do you beat this? And by the way, Shatter the Sky is an instant Wrath of God with Teferi Time Raveler. So how do you beat all this? Well, you play with very quick decks, like Radkos, like Mono Red. Even Radkos isn't fast enough, so that's why you saw Mono Red played in the Mythic Championship. 25% of the field was Mono Red. And oh, by the way, that's why you're seeing on MTG Arena. Now, every month, there's only been 2 months I've not gone Mythic status on MTG Arena. You also check out I play on MTGO and Modern Play, and I play in real life, guys. I play tournaments, and I go to Friday Night Magic in real life. So, again, I'll also be doing pack openings for the channel, so if you want to see that as well. But, you can kind of go ahead and, when you look at all these things, that's the reason why you're seeing a lot of mono red. That's the reason that you're seeing it, not just because it's a very effective deck, but at the same time, look at the field. So that's the reason why you're starting to see these decks. And then when you look at the field itself, let's go back to that graphic with the Philadelphia Open at Star City Games. So you look at this and you say, okay, Temur Reclamation 3 times, blue-white control 3 times, and red deck wins. Well, what was the Mythic Championship? I'll put that graphic up in the top 8. What was that? Well, you kind of get the same thing, don't you? So it wasn't unpredictable. And so, this is kind of where everything's going. Now, honestly, like with the banning of Oko and stuff like that, Oko, I believe, would have had its place to control these control decks. Because what is one thing that stops control decks? A Planeswalker that resolves, that can pump out creatures. And that's what Oko did. I get it, what Oko did, but here's the thing. and I get the banning and all that type of stuff, but I think this is what it did. With all the board wipes, with everything, destroy everything, and we forgot the Storm's Wrath. Deal 4 damage to every creature, and oh, by the way, deal 4 damage to every planeswalker. Yeah, so Oko would have survived that and pumped out creatures and kind of controlled the meta, if you will. So now we're seeing a bunch of different things happening within MTG, and so I believe that's the reason why that we see the field for what it is, and then now we see the top 8. And by the way, you can check out our Simic ramp deck and our Fish Slap deck. Yeah, we actually have a Fish Slap deck. You can go ahead and check that out as well. It's a funny deck, seriously. So going forward, what I think some of the top decks are, and so I'm sorry guys, that was a really funny. The Fish Slap deck is really funny. Yeah, the deck's just like 35 minutes of fun. I know it's 35 minutes, and guys, watching my videos too, I pack a lot of information, more than what's in the title. I pack a lot of information in my videos. But yeah, that Fish Slap deck, can we just bring fun back into Magic the Gathering? Not that it's already there. I think the Mythic Championship was really fun, by the way, and I hope you guys appreciated the video. And again, subscribe and like and share this video, please. But anyway, what I think the best decks going ahead is Gruul. I'm really surprised I didn't see Gruul decks. You know, Javier Dominguez. Alright guys, this will be part 2 of the video where we go over the field of Magic the Gathering in depth, and I tell you mathematically why red deck wins. But guys, if you're going to leave, feel free to subscribe. Tell me in the comment section what you think of the last hand and also the Mythic Championship. Tell me in the comment section below. And guys, please like and share the video. I spent hours doing this. You know, Javier Dominguez, and the reason why I kind of like Javier Dominguez, we kind of play like the same thing. You can check out all my videos. They're time-stamped. You can check out what I play with. Again, you know, with the Gruul deck right now, I currently went on an 8-2 run near Diamond status on MTG Arena. If you don't know what Diamond status is, that's one tier below the highest status you can be is Mythic, which we've already hit a couple times already. Check out my videos for that. But yeah, I think the Gruul deck, you can see it already in the background playing throughout the video. I've had the Gruul deck playing, and we got on an 8-2 run. We went 7-0, and we actually played blue-white control, fires, and we went on a run of 7-0. So Gruul, I'm really shocked. And the reason why I bring up Javier is because he actually ran a Gruul deck and a couple months ago in Eldraine Standard. So I think Gruul is going to be really good. Embercleave, what people don't understand is Eldraine was such a powerful set, you know? And Wizards always does this. Everybody freaks out, but, you know, again, you might be like, he's a company man. He's a company man, and maybe so, but here's the thing. The thing about it is that Wizards actually puts out, you look up 2018, Dominaria came out, then every set got weaker than that. Well, this year it was Eldraine, and Theros is actually Beyond Death. Right? I can't say Theros regularly. Theros Beyond Death. Theros Beyond Death is actually a weaker set than Eldraine. Eldraine made decks. Look at what Eldraine made. Eldraine made Temur Adventure. It made basically the Gruul deck with Embercleave, Questing Beast, Lovestruck Beast, Edgewell Innkeeper, Brimrock Knight. So the list goes on. I think Gruul going ahead is really going to be one of the top decks to keep your eye on because right now in the competition, that's the deck. Simic ramp, don't sleep on that. Now understand, the Mythic Championship only had 16 people. Okay, it was 16 people. Now, they chose decks that were pretty much all similar. I mean, Fires was played, I think, 4 different decks. Temur was, I think, played with, 3 or 4 different decks. Red Deck Wins was mono red, you know, was played with 4. So pretty much every deck had 20 to 25% of the field. It was only 16 players, okay? Some of the greatest players, but and well-deserving to be there. And, you know, to be honest with you, I liked Autumn's Temur Reclamation deck. The thing about it is that you kind of look at this. I think Simic Ramp going forward, Thassa Deep Dwelling with Agent of Treachery, that thing is just crazy. I've been on Thassa and Euro Titan. I've been on Thassa and Euro Titan. Guys, I bought play sets of myself in real life. Again, you can check out one of my videos for that. But giving you advice on that, Simic Ramp to me is also a very versatile deck because you have Simic Ramp Elementals, then you kind of have Simic Ramp Control. Just Simic Ramp, just period, and Euro Titan can simply go into a Simic Ramp deck. I think the mistake people are making is taking out Growth Spiral and putting in Euro Titan. I think that's a big mistake because that slows you down. Check out our Citizen Champion Euro Titan Bant deck. I have that up for you. You're like, Citizen Champ, say that again? Yeah, it's a Bant deck. So if you don't know what Bant deck is, it's green, white, and blue. And basically, Citizen Champion with Hushbringer with Euro Titan. So when you bring in Hushbringer, then you have Euro Titan. Euro Titan doesn't die. Because Hushbringer says any creature entering the battlefield doesn't cause any activated abilities, or a creature dying doesn't cause anything. So it shuts down Simic Ramp, actually. It shuts down Agent of Treachery, Cavalier of Thorns. It shuts down the Simic Ramp deck itself. But at the same time, when you're playing with other cards, it helps you out as well. So again, check that deck out as well. But I think going forward, Gruul is going to be really good. Again, Mono Red. It's a very simple deck, and let me go through the history of Mono Red for a second for you, and Mill. Okay, because let's talk about Mill and Esper Doom. Let's not forget about Esper. But Mono Red, the reason why it's really easy to play is simple. It's a simple deck. You know, I remember being a beginner. So more about me. I played Magic the Gathering in 1994 when I was a little kid, and I played through 2004. So I played through a lot of the tournaments. And if you want to see what tournaments were like, the Mythic Championship was really the draw. I mean, there's over 100 million people. That I have to give Wizards credit. 100 million people. Just 100, let me just say that again, 100 million people. But here's the thing. So, when you look at that, it had a lot of excitement, okay? And the thing about it is it reminded me of the Pro Tour. If you're too young and you're from Generation Z, that's okay. I don't assume that you know everything. And if you're too older and you can't remember, you're like, oh, I can't remember that. So if you're like in your 50s or you're like, you know, 16, 17, 18 years old, then you're not going to know what I'm probably talking about. But if you go, look it up on probably like YouTube or something like that. Look at like 1999, 2000, 2001, where people played Paper Magic, and go to those, look at those tournaments, look at the commentary, and look at who played. Like Finkel was playing, even the Crater. Richard Garfield would play in some of these tournaments, and so that was kind of crazy. And that's where a lot of people got their autographed, you know, Mox Emeralds, Black Lotuses, and so you look at those tournaments, and the crowd was enthusiastic. They're all cheering, they're all going nuts, and it was like watching a football game. You know, it was like watching a football game, and so it was a very exciting time. I think the Mythic Championship really embodied that part of that, you know, of that tournament structure within the internet, you know what I mean, on MTG Arena. Now, if we can get that in physical play, just a quarter of that in physical play, that would be great. And that's not a shot at Wizards. I'm not anti-Wizards yet again. I'll keep on saying that. Pro Wizards, you can check out my videos. I mean, I play with their product. I'm pro Wizards. And the thing about it is that you have to look at this, though, and say that this was a success, but it was only 16 people. So you have to consider the field for what it was. I mean, the Philadelphia Open had more people at Star City Games than this tournament had at the Mythic Championship, because it was supposedly the top 16 people, and so it's 16 people. So that's the reason why there's a limited number of decks to see. So it's going to be nice to see what the next month's tournament's going to bring out, like in March and April, and see what that happens with it. And again, Theros, like I said, what made this set a little different than a lot of other sets was that on the release of it, it didn't have a tournament. And I think Wizards did a really good job with this as well. So typically when a set comes out, there's a pre-release tournament, or there's like a major tournament that comes out, right? There's like a big tournament that comes out. And it didn't happen. So far as like net decking and everything's concerned, nobody knew really what to net deck because there wasn't a big tournament on the release of Theros. You just saw it now, like a month later. I think Wizards needs to do that a little bit more often, because it doesn't artificially inflate prices. Like if you look at Euro Titan of Nature's Wrath, I made a video on that, it's inflated. And I tell you the reasons why in that video that it's inflated. And you look at the timestamp of that video. I made that video well before this tournament came out and everything. And I don't want to pat myself on the back, but I called it. If you watched that video and you bought some Euro Titans after watching that video, you bought them really cheap, because now they're through the roof. The extended arts are like $55 last time I checked. And Euro Titans right now are like going for like $40, the regular version. So if you got in when I made that video, you did yourself a really good job by subscribing to me. And by the way, I recommend that you do. So again, I always have a player mindset first, but I do look at things, And the reason why is like I said, I'm not anti-Wizards, but I am tastefully honest in all my videos. I'm tastefully honest for my subscribers that subscribe to me for MTG. I'm tastefully honest. I'm never brutal. Yeah, so what makes Mono Red a really friendly deck to play is that it's really good for beginners, good for novice, and realistically it's just about going out there, putting down creatures, and attacking. But let's look back at the history. So red deck versus mill, really quick. Let me just go over this really quick. So red deck versus mill. So why does red always win? So this has been like the age-old question in Magic the Gathering history. Counterspell versus burn, mill versus mono red. And the reason why mono red wins is because mono red has so much speed. It's got a lot of speed and a lightning bolt. So think about a lightning bolt. It deals 3 damage, or a spectacle bolt, deals 3 damage to any target. Well, 3 damage is 15% of your life. Yes, 15% of your life. And so what they can do is turn 1 lightning bolt you, turn 2 rift bolt you, spectacle bolt you in modern, and that's 40 to 45% of your life total by the end of turn 2. So think about this for a second. Mono red on a regular basis in modern and a little bit in standard, at the minimum in modern, does 25% does anywhere between 25% and 45% of your life total on the regular. That's their normal thing. Mill, the best thing that you can do is drop a turn 1 Hendren Crab down. Yes, the crabby crab. Bring down a Hendren Crab, hit landfall. If you don't know what landfall is, basically when a Hendren Crab enters the battlefield, you take the top, whenever your land comes under your control, hence landfall. Target opponent puts the top 3 cards of the library, or target player puts the top 3 cards of the library into their graveyard. Okay, so turn 1, you drop down a Hendren Crab. Turn 2, you play Glimpse the Unthinkable. The opponent mills 13 cards in their library. Okay, so 13 cards out of the library after they draw their cards is only 24.5% of their deck. 24.5% of their deck. So Mill's best hand at 24.5%, that's their best, compared to burn on the regular is between 25 and 45%. And it's faster, it's instant speed. So you tell me why red decks wins versus mill. That is your answer. In standard, it's the same thing, just less in the numbers. But mono red will deal more damage or more impact than a mill deck will be able to mill them out via percentages and also speed. So again, that's just really just like a little lesson for you. So that's like the percentages. I'm very analytical in that regard. So anyways, looking at the numbers and having experience in the game. Like I said, I've played the game since 1994 till 2004, came back in 2011. I played every decade of Magic the Gathering from when I was a wee little kid to now. So I've seen a lot. So anyway, guys, that's the mill thing. So all those going forward, I think right now the environment's really good. I liked the Mythic Championship. Most connected we've ever been. The game's never been, people are dissing the game, it's never been bigger. Between MTG Online, MTG Arena, physical play. And Wizards are trying to do a good job to keep up with the times. We're not in 1990 anymore. It's not 1997. You know? It's not. It's 2020, and so they're using the internet to connect with you, and this is how you're connecting with my video. You're connecting with my video through the internet. So I think those are all important things, and so I think Wizards is doing a great job, and again, they're doing a good job by putting arena codes inside physical product. So you go buy the pre-release kits, which are, I think, the greatest investment that you can get. A pre-release kit, I made a video on opening up a pre-release kit. It's one of the best things you can get for $25. Sometimes they go down to 20. So 20, $25, you get a 20-sided die, a box to put your cards in, and you get 6 booster packs in a promo, foil rare or mythic. It has to be at least a foil rare. So for $25, you get 6 booster packs, a foil rare or mythic, a 20-sided die, and a box to hold your cards in. That is the best bang for buck if you're a beginner. So if you're telling me, and just a novice or an experienced Magic the Gathering player, that is the best sealed product investment that you can buy. I'm just talking about right now. Right now, that's the best product you can buy. So going to your pre-releases not only does that, but it supports the local game stores And what Wizards does in return, they put a code in that pre-release kit so you can use for booster packs on MTG Arena. So I think it's a good thing that everything that we're doing. But again, there could be so much more done. Again, we're the most connected we've ever been, but sometimes a little bit the most disconnected. And what I mean by that is we connect so much, but it does affect gameplay. You know, faster tempo gameplay, no sideboards. And so I think that's what you're starting to see. That I think that the Mythic Championship, I'm glad that they featured the sideboard and stuff like that. So new players that are playing the best of ones on MTG Arena ranked, you get to see the patience and the time that it took, but the reward of the sideboard in the Mythic Championship and also going forward into these other matches, because that's how they're played in real life. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed my video. Please subscribe, share, and really like this video. I've been up for over now, it's like 50 hours to give you this video, and I'll be up for another because I have to publish this thing and edit it. So I've been up for a long time. All right, guys, feel free to share, subscribe, and like. Thank you very much for subscribing to the channel and liking this and sharing this with your friends or anywhere. Share it on Reddit. Anywhere you can, share this video. Again, thank you. Have a good day. Until next time, check out my videos.